Are we going to be seeing some selling in the markets here soon? Well, in today's video, we're going to be talking about exactly that and what levels you might want to pay attention to give you a pretty good idea if the bears are starting to step in. What is going on, everyone? This is Real Life Trading. We are a stock market education company, have been around for over 10 years, helping others learn how to trade the stock market successfully. Every Monday, I make a video walking you through my game plan and the levels that I'm looking at here in the markets. So let's dive on in. This is SPY, and SPY has been on an epic run. I mean, if we dive in over it onto a daily time frame, you can see it has just been crazy bullish. And now we are starting to just kind of hang out. The futures over this long weekend have had a strong pullback, and now we are starting to recover and trying to put in some higher lows. So that's telling me that there is an opportunity for some more bulls to continue to run on this. At least back up into the highs that we got to at the end of Thursday would make a lot of sense. Now, if we start to break down some of these higher lows around 62.50 and 62.30 area, then that's a potential for some more selling to come back in and for some more bear resting structure to happen. But for right now, bulls look strong. They're holding the levels that they should. And I would expect this to probably continue to run throughout this week. So what would that open the door for? Well, we've got a big old trend line sitting right here that I am watching like a hawk. This trend line has really been the start of every major selling that we've had for the last year or two. So it is a really, and I could probably keep drawing this thing all the way back, but this has been a very strong trend line to watch. And we are about to interact with it again. And so this is something that I'm watching. I've got alerts sitting all the way through here around 630 to 635. That also happens to be a pretty large options level this week. And these open option interest areas are going to give you a really clear sense of where some resistance is and where support is. And I use this a lot when the markets are at all-time highs, because I don't have anything left over here to go off of for resistance and supports. And so options at all-time highs become your best friend if you know what to look for. And that's exactly what I'm doing this week. I am seeing a huge level actually at 625, which we're already above that. 625 is just stacked with calls. So if the bears fail to hold 625 and the bulls start to push through, that could lead to some large buying again and pushing us up into this trend line, which 630 also happens to be a pretty decent resistance when it comes to options. So this is going to be a really crucial area around 630 to 635. Could we get there this week? There's a potential for that for sure. Is it also possible that the markets are going to give us a little bit of a dip and resting period? Yes. So let's go over that scenario. Again, I'm not trying to predict where the markets are going to go. I have a game plan if it goes bullish, and I have a game plan if it goes bearish, and I just wait and see which one of those game plans do I need to apply. So that's my bull scenario. It's going to be running super extended. I'm looking for some bearish reversals, probably around 630 to 635. On the bear side of things, if we start to pull back, if some of those levels start to break on the futures that we talked about earlier, there is a monster support sitting around 613. The previous all-time high should act as a very strong support at this point, especially because our 10 EMA on a daily is sitting right there. Now, if we pull up more EMAs, we've also got the 20 EMA sitting just a little bit lower around 605. 605 is also a very strong resistance from this previous S-curve that we had a little while back in June. So I am watching for that area very closely. I also really like this open gap. I'm just not sure that we're going to get there. With the amount of strength that has come through, I think dips are going to be a little bit shallow, and we're going to continue to run at least until we start hitting some big targets for the bulls. And those big targets, I have a feeling, are going to be sitting around this EMA. It's just how they like to play it. It's what I'm watching, and I'm not just going to short just because it hits that. I'll watch the price action here, but if I can get some sort of reversal off of this trend line, I will look to start buying some puts. It could lead to a lot more selling, but realistically, at this point, dips are going to get bought. And so pullbacks back into, I would say, 615 to 600 should be very buyable. And that's what I'm going to be keeping an eye out for this week here on SPY to see if these bears push us down finally. Will we be getting some buy the dip opportunities soon? I believe that we will. Again, I'm not sure we'll get much lower than 614, 615 this week. It can do whatever it wants, but I would expect a lot of bulls to be in this area and to start putting in some basing formations and pushing higher. So it all just depends on where we go. The higher this thing goes without a pullback, the steeper the retest will tend to be, because just that many more people will be taking profits. So we just want to be careful of that. But if we fail to hit this 630 mark here on SPY and we start to pull back, I think a lot of buyers are going to be sitting here at 615. So watch for that level. It's going to be really, really fun this week. The next ticker that I really got my eye on this week is AMD. AMD finally closed strongly up above my 630 mark. I love that close. It looks really good. So now it's just an opportunity of buying the dip. Now we do have earnings around the corner here in a couple weeks that we want to be careful on, but I do think that around really anywhere from 130 all the way down to 110 is going to be an extremely good buying zone. Now, if we're not bouncing by 107, I think something's up. That could be a sign of some weakness coming through. It doesn't mean that it has to drop, but I would love to see the bull excitement start to step in this area and push us higher. So look for lower wicks to come in on a daily time frame. Look for some sort of engulfing candle or a hammer stepping in through in this area is what I'd be waiting on. Once the bulls step in, this should be rampaging a lot higher. Again, it doesn't have to pull back anymore. Targets for AMD over the next month or two are probably pushing into like 170. And so day trade this thing bullish all the way up into 170. Take your swing trades through here and hold into that area. And that's where I'd be probably looking to take my profits. Some, if not all. There's a good chance that we could be working our way all the way to an all-time high, but time will tell on that. First things first, we've got to get through the 170 level. That's going to be the big one. Next ticker that I really like for some bull moves this week is IONQ. The structure on this has been extremely bullish, looking really good. And I think there's a very high probability that over the next few weeks, we'll make it up to this $50 mark. That is going to be a huge level. And I think we can get there. So now where is the buying spot? Well, we're gapping down just a little bit. I would expect a lot of bulls to come in around $43 to $40. Somewhere here in this box is my buying zone. Look for some sort of bull sentiment to come in this buying zone. So I like to go to a smaller time frame and just keep an eye on that. But that's the key, is understand the zone where the buyer should be, and then sit back and wait for your entry to come about. And then sit back and let the market show you their hand that the bulls are stepping in. That will increase your win rate so much more than anything else. So this is the buying area that I'm watching, and I think a lot of bulls should be here, and a very easy target will be around that $48 to $50 mark. Should be high probability, again, that will bounce. Now, if the bulls are not stepping in by $38, something is up in my book. It could be that the bulls are not coming to play and we have a little bit lower to go. Next bouncing spot will probably be around the $30 mark. So what I would be looking to do is get in. If it doesn't bounce, manage my risk, take a small loss, and then replan my entry down to here to try it one more time to see if it can come back in. It doesn't matter if you lose, my friends. Don't worry about losing. Worry about losing small. If you lose $50 here on this trade and then you get in here and make $300 on that trade, you're going to be a successful trader. The key is lose small and win big. And so this is where the bulls should be. If they come in, great, I'm going to win big. If they don't come in here, great, I will lose small. And that's my only job as a trader, is to see that edge, to see the strength. The markets are revealing themselves right here on this stock. It's looking extremely bullish. Bulls should be here to play. Now we wait and see if they step in. If they don't, cut, lose small. If they do, let it ride, take it to target, make your money, and go find the next one. If you're struggling in trading, check out the links down below for free trading courses to help get you back on your feet. And also feel free to check out our trading community. Links are down below. It is an amazing community that we've built over the last 10 years and is structured to help you learn how to trade. So don't go about it alone. I hope you enjoyed these videos, my friends, and I hope you're a little bit more prepared for the markets this week and have identified the levels that you can use to help you make trading a little bit easier. Love you all. I'll see you next week.